Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm joined today with offensive coordinator Roderick Taylor, senior running back Cornelius Shackelford, and we'll be right back after this quick message.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am joined this morning with offensive coordinator Roderick Taylor, senior running back Cornelius Shackelford. First of all, Coach, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome.
All right.
Everything's going well.
Cornelius, how about yourself?
Feeling great.
Doesn't it feel good to be out here in the sun? Pepsi Tailgate Zone in the background. It's going to be a great day for football tonight.
It is.
But first off, let's get things started. How's practice been going this week, Coach?
Practice went really well. We're starting to get some guys back off the injury list. Guys are excited. We're ready to go.
All righty. And Cornelius, from my understanding, you played linebacker before, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you describe your transition from linebacker to running back? And was that difficult at all, or is that something that just kind of came natural to you?
Well, running back is my actual natural position, so coming from linebacker to running back is actually pretty easy. Playing linebacker, although it was rather rough. It was a little harder than coming back and playing running back.
All right. And with you playing, got experience at both positions, and running backs, you know, they're known to take some hits. They're known to take a pounding out there running the ball. Would you say that linebacker helped you kind of toughen up a little bit to take those hits because you're used to delivering the hits before?
Yeah, it kind of helped me a lot. I'm used to going head up with linemen and all that. But now it helped me as far as like reading standpoint. I understand like what the linebacker's looking for and what their reads are. So it helps me a lot.
All right.
Running back now.
Okay, and Coach, last week y'all guys put up 529 yards on the ground. I believe 11 different players got to touch the ball at one point. What do you attribute that success to? Would you say it was the offensive line with good blocking, wide receivers getting blocks on the outside, or just running backs using their vision? Or would you say it's a combination of everything?
I would say it's a combination of everything. We've implemented a system here. It's been proven to work in the past. The guys are really buying into it. Guys are really starting to buy into this physical standpoint that we talk about. We talk about an around here mentality a lot, and that around here mentality is physical and attacking. And that's what you saw on the field.
We definitely saw that last week. It was evident the way y'all guys were running the ball, and there was a lot of physical punishment from all the running backs, especially you, Cornelius. You seemed to run over a couple of guys last week, and you had 10 carries, 78 yards with 2 touchdowns last week. How did it feel to finally get back on the field, considering you missed the first 2 games?
It felt great. It was a lot of anticipation, and it was a lot of hype build up around it. But I was ready, and I was ready to take the field. I it hurt me to see my teammates play without me and have to go out there and fight without me. So it felt great to actually get back on the field and play with my team.
Alrighty, and Coach, we'll jump back to you real quick. First of all, what did you personally, I know you're the offensive coordinator, you got your hands around this offense. What did you personally take out of last week's performance from an overall offensive standpoint, just rushing, passing, everything?
For the long haul, we're going to have to be a little bit more balanced. Don't get me wrong, I love rushing for that many yards.
Yes,
but
sir.
to go along with our long-term plans, we have to be balanced. And we've had games where we've thrown the ball really well, and we had a game last week where we ran it really well. We'd like to come out today and do both. Well, and really it depends on what the defense gives us. If they give us another 500-yard night, we'll take it.
Alrighty, and we're coming up on a quick commercial break. We're going to wrap it up real quick, and we'll be right back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central right after these messages.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am here live with Coach Roderick Taylor, running back Cornelius Shackelford. Coach, let's jump right into tonight's big game. West Texas A&M is known for their passing attack. Do you feel it is paramount for this offense to establish the run and keep West Texas A&M's offense off the field as much as possible?
Well, you know, West Texas, they do like to throw the ball, and they want to attack and try to score fast. But it's our job to score points.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to go into this game with the intent of trying to stall the game out because we feel like we need to score and take care of business. Now, if we get a substantial lead, then our game plan will change with that situation. But we're coming in attack mode, you know. And last time I checked, we're used to beating West Texas around here, so we intend to keep that going.
Oh, yeah. It's been a couple of years since that, but like you said, we are used to winning against this team, and they're a program that's kind of on the rise. But let's get back to you real quick, Cornelius. What do you look forward to the most with being here in Kingsville and playing here at Javelina Stadium in front of Javelina Nation? Just what do you enjoy the most about that?
I enjoy the fans and Hoggy Pack on the side because my daughter is actually that
okay.
field, and it's a great environment down here, and I love the way they throw tortillas when we score, and everybody gets scored crazy around here. So it's a great environment to play in.
Yeah, speaking of that tortilla rule, that's not supposed to happen. It's kind of a rule around here, but, you know, traditions, they never die, you know.
Yeah.
It's just something about that. And, Coach, how do y'all, like we spoke about the passing attack wasn't as good last week, but it's been good previous weeks before that. Just how do you plan on getting that going tonight a little bit? Just how do you plan on easing the quarterback into the passing game tonight?
Well, we've done a real good job this week of really cutting the field in half and simplifying things for him. And then his teammates, offensively and defensively, have done a great job of rallying behind him. And then when you're doing any type of task, when your confidence goes up and the people rally behind you, it makes it a lot easier for you to be successful.
Yes, sir. And Cornelius, just from your personal standpoint, what do you think you guys need to do tonight in order to come away with this victory? Like, what's going to be a couple of things y'all guys need to establish to get this victory tonight?
We need to come out and establish a physical concept of the game early. We go out and try to hit them in the mouth early and get them on their heels, and that way we can try to play the game how we want to play it and manage the pace and tempo how we want to manage it.
Alrighty, and Coach, Cornelius had a big game last week. You also had a freshman running back, Greg Petrie. He also went off, a career game for him as well. Could you just say a little bit about Greg and how's he been in practice and what he means to the running game?
Greg is a very humble guy that's a very, very hard worker. He's going to be real patient in the hole, and when he gets daylight, as you saw last week, he has the speed to actually finish the run. It's a pleasure coaching him. His teammates love him. He doesn't say a lot. He lets his production on the field actually do his talking.
Yeah, he sure did. He broke off that 80-plus yard run last week, a 40-plus yard run as well, and that's something to say about a lot of the backs here. They seem to find the vision. They seem to just know where to go with the ball and how to attack that play. And Cornelius, just a quick question. What do you think about the atmosphere of the tailgate? You know, it's something that a lot of colleges don't do, especially in the Division II level.
Right.
What do you think about the tailgate atmosphere?
I love the tailgate atmosphere. When we get off that bus, there's no greater feeling than our fans meeting us right there at the curb. And it's a great feeling. Everybody's supporting us. They get behind us, and I've never seen it like that, especially at Division II level. So it's an awesome opportunity to come out here and play and have fun with the fans.
Alrighty, and we're coming up on our last commercial break, and we'll be right back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. It's been a great morning, Coach. We've had a great talk. Cornelius, same thing as well. It's been a great talk. I appreciate y'all's time being out here. Coach, you as well, Cornelius, and any final thoughts on tonight's game?
Fans, just come out and support us. We plan to put on a show.
Alrighty, Cornelius, any final thoughts?
Hog Nation, let's go.
Alrighty, with that being said, hopefully the tailgate will be getting pretty rowdy out there. Javelina Nation got to come out and support, and we'll be right back at 11 o'clock with President Talent at the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ferris Sabauer with the Javelina Broadcast Network, and join alongside with me is A&M Kingsville President Dr. Stephen Talent. He's going to be sticking around for a few questions right after this commercial break.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ferris Sabauer with the Javelina Broadcast Network, and I have school president Dr. Stephen Talent with me. Dr. Talent, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I want to thank you for having me here, and this is a great event, and I want to thank Pepsi for sponsoring it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is your first time on the show. How do you like the little desk? It's got a little bit of an ESPN feel.
It's a great setup. It's just like college game day right here at Javelina Nation.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Hey, now we're several weeks into this fall semester so far. What can you tell us about the school and how far it's going along?
Well, we're off to a great start. We hit 7,700 and almost 80 students. So we're right at 7,800 students. It's the second largest enrollment we've had ever, and that goes back to 1971. So we're growing, we're doing well. Most importantly, we did very well with the state legislature this year. Out of the 39 public universities in the state of Texas, we had the largest increase percentage-wise in funding. So we were able to really gain a lot of additional revenue. In addition, we were able to get $1.5 million for our vet tech program, $200,000 for the money for our citrus center in Weslaco. So we're doing very well. We were able to give a 4% raise to faculty and staff, and that was way overdue, and they're very thankful for that. More importantly, or just as importantly, we have the money now to put into faculty. We're hiring faculty tenure lines. The university is growing, and we need to hire more faculty to support our academic departments. So, for the first time in my 6 years as president, we have money to give raises and to hire additional faculty, and we're very, very happy.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. Now, the vet tech program isn't the only one that was added this year. There was also the gas engineering, I believe, right?
Now, we've always had a gas engineering master's degree program.
Yeah.
And we had an undergraduate gas engineering program for many decades, and we did away with that about 20 years ago. We brought that back. It is a fast-growing program. Gas engineering, as you know, because of Eagle Ford Shell, they need gas engineers.
And they had recently opened up a center here in the engineering complex, right?
Well, what we did, let me explain that. We've created an institute for Eagle Ford Shell research. So yes, we have a new institute for them.
All right, well that's great. Moving along here, there was a little bit of a controversy earlier on this semester with the Texans for A&I. They had made a statue of Gil Steinke, hoping to put it onto the stadium. If I'm correct here, you had said no because of the rhetoric towards Tamuk in general and things like that. You had also said that you guys were looking to commission your own statue. How far along are you on that?
Well, first of all, thank you for bringing that up. And I first want to say this has nothing to do with Gil Steinke. He was a great man and a great Texan. He put this university, Texas A&I, on the map. And we have honored him in the past by naming a building after him. And we want to keep honoring him. And as you said, we're now working with an artist. We're in the negotiation process. And I am not at liberty to talk about that fully right now. But I'll promise you that later in the year, we will reveal plans to have a very good monument for him.
Yeah, like you said, I think you had said too that you had talked to Gil Steinke's family about this going on to make sure that they don't feel, that there's he's being, gypped in any way.
Absolutely. I met with Mrs. Steinke and his daughter Jan before I made the decision not to allow the statue on campus. They understood that and they supported me.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. We got a few more questions coming up with Dr. Talent. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ferris Bauer with the Javelina Broadcast Network. Still got Dr. Talent here with me. So, Dr. Talent, something that's been pretty good for you guys too, a highlight has been the increase in graduation rates over the past 3 years. Would you like to discuss that a little bit?
Well, I'd like to discuss several metrics. 5 years ago, we had one of the poorest retention and graduation rates in the state of Texas. And when I took the presidency, I knew we had to increase those. And let me quickly go through that because we're making significant improvement in all those areas. Our retention rate is the percentage of freshmen that come and return their sophomore year. We were down to 51% when I arrived, meaning half of our freshman class would leave. We're now up to 63% as of this semester, so we've increased 12% in 5 years, which is very, very healthy growth. I'm pleased with that. Our 4-year graduation rate and our 6-year graduation rates were also both on the low side, and both have made significant improvement. Now, I like to point out that to improve your 6-year graduation rates, it takes 6 years. So we're just now hitting the 6th year of my presidency, but we're already making significant improvement. The other thing that's very important, in the last 3 years, we've increased the number of degrees we've granted by 37%. That's remarkable. So what this means is more and more students are staying, more and more students are graduating in a timely manner, and we're getting more and more students with their degrees out there in South Texas, out there working and helping the economy.
And that's always good. And yeah, like you had said, we were a struggling school when it came to graduation rates and things like that. So how important was it to really, get that number to turn around and go on the upswing?
Well, it's very important because we owe it to the Texas taxpayer that supports this university, because when you think about it, every student here is on a scholarship because you're not paying full cost of your education as you would at a private institution. So we owe it to the taxpayer of Texas to get students in here and through here. Now, there's some caveats here in the sense that we're a university of access and opportunity, and we are not College Station. Many of our students come here needing developmental education. Many of our students come here having to work part-time. So all of our students are not going to be able to graduate in 4 years. And they understand that. But at the same time, we have to increase our graduation rates or we will not get good funding from the state of Texas. One of the reasons that we were able to get some extra money this year is from the legislature is because we are doing a good job.
Yeah, and like you had said, graduation rates are a big deal. Going on in the legislature right now in Congress, President Obama was talking about trying to link school funding to a certain college rating system. And he talked about rating colleges by, their tuition cost, their graduation rates, the earnings and the debts that the graduates have after leaving this university. So what's your opinion on that, and how do you think you guys would fare in that system?
Well, first of all, on paper, that sounds very good. I have some concerns about it. And like any policy, I think it has some strengths and some weaknesses. I believe that we need to be held accountable. But again, when you look at one system, one model that fits everybody, I have problems with that. We all have different missions. And we're not going to have the graduation rate that a flagship university is going to have when they're taking only top 10%ers. Does that mean we should be held at, should we be hurt financially because we're taking students that are graduating into 50% of the high school, and getting them through? So I like it on paper. However, I think it has to be flexible and tailored to fit the mission of each institution.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, we're going to take our last commercial break of this segment. We'll be right back with a wrap-up with Dr. Talent.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
Welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Center. I'm Fair Sabat with the Javelina Broadcast Network. We're just about ready to wrap it up here for this segment, but Dr. Talent, you didn't just join me.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here live with head coach David Calloway. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hello, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am here live with head coach of the Javelinas, Coach David Calloway. Coach Calloway, how are you feeling this morning?
Great. Feeling good. Another chance to get an opportunity to play at Javelina Stadium this evening. So excited about another chance to compete.
Alrighty. I said this morning, I really mean this afternoon. The heat is incredible out here. We got the tailgaters back there in the Pepsi Tailgate zone. Looks like they're having a good time. First off, Coach, last week, the running game exploded with success. 529 yards on the ground. What do you attribute that success to? Would you say it's offensive line, wide receivers setting the blocks on the edge, or running backs with their vision? Would you say it's a total, complete team effort on that part?
Well, I think we did have some success running the football last week, and there was more of everybody getting on the same page from all levels. You know, not just offensive line blocking, receivers blocking, quarterbacks making correct reads, offensive coaches putting us in the right situation. I think an offensive guy saw when they get on the same page, play at the same level, and make the same adjustments, that we can do things correctly and have some excitement doing it.
Alrighty, and the 529 yards was the fourth best rushing total in about 6 years for the Javelinas, so that was pretty good right there. I noticed y'all guys had 11 different ball carriers also last week. Is that something that last week we saw that just based on what McMurray was showing y'all, or is that something y'all guys are going to try and mix in with different running backs here and there?
Well, I don't think anybody really goes into it with saying we're going to try to get 11 people touches. I think it kind of how the game plan worked out. You know, we try to get the ball in our playmakers' hands, and we're just fortunate enough that it ended up being 11 different guys that had touches this past week. So we're excited about, you know, putting guys on tape, knowing we get a guy with a chance to make a play with the football, he can make something happen in a positive fashion for us. So, and we'll try to continue to do the same things.
Yes, sir. And we had Cornelius Shackelford on earlier on the set with us. And last week was his first game with y'all, and he obviously provided a lot for the team. What can you tell us about what he means to this running game, and does he bring that physical presence that this running game needs?
Well, he means more than us. It's just a running game from a team standpoint. He was one of the guys that was instrumental in getting people to workouts during the summer, holding guys accountable, making sure they was dependable. He's a unique situation. You know, he's been out of football a couple of years. Actually started at linebacker for us last year. So just by having his presence as a mature individual, a family man on our team, it does a lot for our guys, not just on the field but off the field. But it's definitely a good situation. You got him running the football, you know, playing aggressive, and getting some touches and making it positive things happen with the football.
Yes, sir. And the passing game had success against Monterey, had some success against Central Washington. Last week it was mostly the running game. How do you plan on getting the passing game going just a little bit, maybe kind of balancing out the offense just a little bit? How do you guys plan on going about that?
Well, the first 2 weeks we feel we could throw the ball when we need to throw the ball, and first 2 games teams kind of forced us to throw the football by loading the box. This past week, you know, McMurray didn't put as many guys in the box, so we had a chance to run the ball more efficiently. But if you look at us statistically right now in 3 games, we're pretty balanced in what we're doing running the pass.
Alrighty, and we're running up short of time right here. We're going to hit our first commercial break, and we'll be right back live with head coach of the Javelinas, David Calloway, here at the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here live with Javelina head coach David Calloway. Coach, let's go into tonight's game tonight. It's obviously a big game. West Texas A&M comes in here nationally ranked with a stout passing attack. How do y'all guys plan on neutralizing this passing attack tonight?
Well, they come in. West Texas always have a great football program. For years and years since I've been involved with Texas A&M Kingsville football, they don't only have just a passing attack. They're explosive on defense, have an explosive running game, got a lot of weapons. What we need to do is come out and play our brand of football at the end of the day, try to put 60 minutes together of what we determine is our brand and let the chips fall where they may.
Alrighty, let the chips fall where the way. It's pretty much y'all guys gonna go out there, line it up. You know, y'all guys, as they say, y'all put on the pants, left leg, right leg the same way. So it should be a good game out there. But what is your assessment of the team so far? I know it's been only 3 games. It's still a very young season. Just what's your assessment of the overall team, offense, defense, and special teams so far, Coach? What do you like, and what can y'all improve on?
Well, we're always improving. Everybody in the country try to make improvements as you go through the season. Right now, I think the biggest improvement that we have made going into week 4, we cut down on the number of penalties, and we're still looking to get that number to 0. Guys will continue to come together and kind of figure out the coaching staff, the staff figuring out players, players figuring out personnel, personnel figuring out personnel, you know. One thing's unique, people always want to rush say, you need to get this going, you need to get that going. The reality of the situation, this team has been together going on 5 weeks, and we're seeing improvements every week, and we want to continue to build on that. And like I said, just try to put a solid product together 1 week at a time and move forward from there.
Alrighty, Coach, and we're just speaking on West Texas. What do you expect to see from them? I know we've talked about their accolades, we've talked about the passing game, but what do you expect to see just from them tonight in this game?
I mean, you expect to see a championship pedigree organization. You know, they play at a high level every year. They compete for the conference championship every year. They're in national playoff contention and national championship contention every year. So you expect them to come out and do what they've been doing, you know, for the past 7 or 8 years in this conference. So we're excited about the opportunity. I'm sure they're excited to get back down and play at Javelina Stadium. We hadn't played them here in, I think, probably 2 seasons or 2 contests. So we're excited about the matchup. Always excited to play at home because it's an event at Hog Nation.
Yes, sir. And I'm just gonna ask you something about this whole tailgate here. You know, just what do you think about this whole tailgate experience here at A&M Kingsville? Ain't it amazing how the community just rallies around this team? We pack the house every home game. They're packing the tailgate zone right now as we speak. So what do you think about this overall experience here and what we're putting on?
Oh, it's an exciting deal. I mean, rarely do you see a small college atmosphere that this type of environment is going on. You know, we have people setting up tailgate areas Thursday night. So we're excited, you know, a lot of barbecue going on, a lot of games, the music, people performing, having a good time, and that's what college football is about. You know, it's an event, guys get involved, fans come out, and we're excited just to be a part of it. I know I am.
That's definite, and I'm pretty sure all of Javelina Nation, students, fans from out of town, the community here in Kingsville, they're excited to see y'all guys on the field tonight, each and every weekend, on the road or at home. So we're coming up on our second commercial break here. We'll be right back with head coach of the Javelinas, David Calloway, right after this quick commercial break to the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here live with head coach of the Javelinas, David Calloway. Coach, I just want to thank you for being on the set. As always, it's been a pleasure. I enjoy talking to you as much as I can, and pretty sure Javelina Nation enjoys the words you got to say about the team and about this whole experience. So just want to thank you for being on set as always, and I'm looking forward to having you on set again sometime here in the near future. And coming up at 1 o'clock, we're going to have Aaron McClure talking about Family Fiesta Week here at the university, or here at Texas A&M University Kingsville, and we'll be right back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central at 1 o'clock.
And welcome to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and I'm here with Aaron McClure, the Director of Student Activities, and Mark Cortez, the owner of Music Time Productions. This theme of the week is Family Fiesta Weekend, and after a short break, we'll be talking about what this theme is all about.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hello, and we're back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here with Aaron McClure, Director of Student Activities, and Mark Cortez, the owner of Music Time Productions. Now, Aaron, can we sum up what Family Weekend is all about?
Family Weekend is for parents, families to come visit their students and kind of have the college spirit experience that they have. We have different events that they come. We had 200 people sign up to play bingo. We have tailgate. They're invited to come to the volleyball game, the football game, and just kind of spend some time with their family and have a lot of fun with them for the weekends.
And Mark, what is your opinion on Family Weekend?
Well, it's a great time for some of the families that are out of town to come out and and see what the college life is like if they haven't experienced it for themselves already, and I guess check on their son and daughter, make sure everything's in order with them. So.
Right. And is this something the department holds every year?
Yes, we hold it every year. A few years ago, we started holding it with the football game, and I think that's really helped the attendance of it. And the parents, the families really like coming to see the football game.
And what responsibilities go into putting this event together?
There's a lot. We go with a lot of departments help us put this together. we have to plan it for the weekend. We have to promote it to the parents, so we start promoting it in the summer. So by the summer, our schedule's already done. We work with athletics in the January and find a weekend that works. So we start with that, and then we recruit to the parents, and then we start the planning and the programming.
And what is your title hold for this family weekend? What are your responsibilities?
Well, I do a lot of contract work with the university. I've been working with Aaron in the Student Services Center over there and the athletic department, obviously, for a number of years now. And so whatever they need, basically my company will try to handle, whether they want to have a band or they want to have karaoke, which, by the way, is happening this afternoon. So if anybody wants to come out and sing, we'll be up on the stage having a good time. So basically that's my responsibility here.
And obviously what y'all talked about, this is also obviously not a solo effort, it's a joint effort. Is it more out of not just y'all, it's more people, huh?
Right, we have athletics helped us, Residence Life, they put on the bingo, the alumni sponsors the tent for us. We also have UPD comes and they help out, and a lot of different departments come, a lot of faculty and staff, they do bring their families out, so it is a whole university-wide event. It takes the whole university to support this event.
And what are some of the events that are y'all holding for Family Weekend?
Last night we showed Monsters University. Today we have bingo. We have 2 sessions of bingo. We have a magician coming at 2. We have a tailgate for the parents. One of the football parents is bringing some washers, some different games to play. We have a barbecue and then the football game.
And what can you tell us more about Kid Zone and more about
the
what
Kid
that
Zone?
is?
Yes, the Kid Zone is down in the game room, and Theta Phi Alpha, one of the sororities, they host that event, and there's coloring there. Porky came, one of the football players came, and they took pictures with the kids. There's pool, ping pong, so the parents and the families can just go down there and just relax and have a little fun.
And I read up a lot about what's going on with Family Weekend. Does it cost? Do you get free T-shirts? Do you get more like that? I read up on that.
If you're in the Parents Association, it's $5 per person to come. If you're not, it's $10, but it's everything that I mentioned is included in it, and each family that signs up gets a free T-shirt.
Okay. And Mark, also, do you hold any part in doing parent association?
Well, as a matter of fact, when I'm set up for the tailgate area, I try to make my way around and introduce myself to some of the parents and try to find out where they're from. So everybody kind of likes to hear their city mentioned over the loudspeaker. So I think it gets them a little motivated. So it gives me a chance to meet some of the parents that are out there
And
also.
so far, the furthest person we know is from Fort Worth.
All right.
And we're running out of time. We're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be back with Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Hello, we're back with Pepsi Tailgate Central. Now, Mark, I am aware that you are the creator of this whole Pepsi Tailgate. What made you come up with this idea?
Well, I don't know about creator, but I think it was last year sometime. I know the Javelinas were out of town. I think they were in Abilene. And I woke up Saturday morning and I turned on the TV, and ESPN has a similar event. It's called ESPN Game Day. And I decided, I was watching it for a little while, and they actually use their tailgates as the backdrop for the show. And I decided, you know what, I think we can do that over here, you know. And I thought it would be a great addition to the tailgate parties that we have out here. I'm not aware of any other school in Division II that's doing anything like this. So I got a hold of Joe Biedron and Ruben Cantu in the athletic department, and I said, guys, I have this idea. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we could certainly give it a try. And we had a meeting a few months after that with Aaron and a bunch of the staff from the athletic department, and they really liked the idea. And obviously, with an idea like this, comes a cost. So I think the next step was trying to secure some sponsors. And fortunately for us, the university, Pepsi really came through in a big way. And we'd like to thank Pepsi for doing that. So once the wheels got in motion, I think and to me, the whole purpose for me was to get the students involved. I think that's the whole reason any of us are here, is to make sure that all the students get a great experience here at the university. Kingsville is very fortunate to have such a great university here in the area. And we have a lot of students from the outlying areas that get a chance to come where I don't think they'd have that opportunity otherwise. So enhancing the tailgate zone, the Pepsi Tailgate Zone, what it's called now, is I think has just been like Joe Biedron told me earlier, it's a monster in the making. And I think every week we learn a little something different that we can do and to enhance all its features and make it a great event for everyone.
And watching, I'm sure you tuned in last week to see what we did. Are you satisfied with everything's going? How do you like it?
I'm very happy. Everybody's doing a great job. As a matter of fact, I walked up today when they asked me to interview, and I was kind of floored by the production and the way everybody's doing a great job. And hats off to you guys for doing a great job.
Are there any ideas to add on to Pepsi Tailgate Central that you would
Yeah, I mean, I've got some other ideas, but I'd like to actually have the tailgate area being witness to this. So I'm not sure in the near future. I talked to Joe or now. We're going to try to maybe get a screen out there, a big blow-up screen, so we can actually watch the video in the tailgate area. And I think that kind of gets everybody involved. Everybody wants to be yelling in the background and really getting into the game. So that's what it's about.
Right. And back to Family Fiesta Weekend. How do you get into the Javelina Parent Association? What does that entail? How do you?
The Javelina Parents Association, any family members, any parents can be a part of it. You just go online to our website, tamook.edu/OSA. You fill out some forms, and we have a similar event next semester that you can attend, and then you also get quarterly newsletters. Anything you need, we have an email that y'all can email any questions the parents have.
And is there anyone you'd wish to thank for helping you with this?
Marty De La Paz and Student Activities. Marty's the coordinator of the Parents Association. She's done a great job. Student Activities, Residence Life, Alumni, and also that's it. Thanks.
And we're running out of time. We're going to go on another commercial break. We'll be back with Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
And we're back with the Pepsi Tailgate Central. Now, we've talked a lot about Family Fiesta Weekend and what that entails and the preparation that goes into that. And we've talked about your ideas about the Pepsi Tailgate Central. But I think what everybody wants to know is, what do you think about the Javelinas tonight?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, we're 3-0 coming into the night, and tonight will definitely be a challenge. They're playing, obviously, West Texas A&M, who's done real well in the last few years. I remember years back their program was really down, and if they won a game, they were thrilled to death. So they've turned that program around, and they're doing a great job over there. I think that with the home crowd, you know, I don't know too many other schools in Division II that regularly draw over 10,000 fans, and if you want to have that experience, come down to A&M Kingsville. I think with the home crowd behind us and everybody cheering on, I think we'll pull out a tight victory tonight.
And Aaron, what do you think about the spirit that we bring to the home games?
I think the students bring a great spirit. Last weekend I came, and the visitors over across the student body side, it was filled with blue and gold. I think the J crew and the cheerleaders are doing a great job, and I think that spirit will help a lot with tonight's win.
Alrighty, and that's all we have time for today for this theme of the week. I'd like to thank you guys for being here to talk about Pepsi Tailgate Central. We'll be back at 2 o'clock to talk about notes on the West Texas A&M Buffaloes. I'm Ashlyn Tovar with the Pepsi Tailgate Central. Back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and we're here to talk about the notes on our visiting West Texas Buffaloes. I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach, and how y'all feeling, guys, today?
A little hot. It's pretty good out here.
It's hot, but it feels pretty good.
It's pretty hot out here. We're going to be talking about the number 4 in the nation, West Texas A&M Buffaloes, all the way from Canyon, Texas. After a short break, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about their offense, their defense, and a bunch of other things we have in store for you today. We'll be back after this short commercial.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757.
The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hello, we're back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach. After longtime head coach Don Carthel was fired 2 weeks before the first scrimmage, and longtime assistant coach Mike Nesbitt took over the interim head coach, this team seems not to have missed a beat, at least not on the offensive side of the ball. Do you think that they can keep up the momentum they've had through the first 3 weeks of this season, and do you think they can keep that explosiveness that they've had?
I do believe so. They've got a lot of upperclassmen and a real strong bunch led by quarterback Dustin Vaughn. He's had 1,333 yards passing, 444 yards per game, which is #1 in the nation right now. So a guy like that, a senior quarterback that's leading you like that is always someone great to have. And you know, the 3 games they've had, they traveled up to Colorado to start out their season against Western State, and they went up with a big 41-0 lead, only to win 48-21. And Vaughn had 6 touchdowns in that game alone. He was the Week 1 LSC Player of the Week that week. Second week, they had a pretty intense matchup. They went to the Lone Star Conference LSC Football Festival at AT&T Stadium, and had a little showdown against the number 18 Caldron State, and they were down 21-6. Not one offensive touchdown that first half, but they came back. Vaughn led them back with some great drives in the fourth quarter, and they ended up winning that game 34-31, and that was a ranked opponent. They were number 18 at the time. And they just came off this last week, starting off conference play against Texas A&M University Conference, and kept it close kind of in the first quarter, and then kind of slowly started running away with it and really took over in the fourth quarter as they beat Texas A&M University Commerce 62-28. So with an undefeated record under their belt, especially coming off of being 1-0 in conference, and knowing you've got some upperclassmen with Torrance Allen and Anthony Johnson, two great wide receivers that have been helping Vaughn out a lot, and a dual threat running back. It's catching touchdown passes as well as running them in Aaron Harris. With people like that, and with being 3-0, I don't see how they could have lost momentum.
And a little statistics on the Buffaloes. They have a total 144 points in the game to their and only given up 80. They have 48 points per game and only have given up on an average 27 points. They have Dustin Vaughn has 1,333 yards of their 1,614. We know that they are one-sided offense after those stats. What can we expect to see from their offense tonight in the aspect of style?
Well, Dustin Vaughn, when you have a guy like that really powering your offense, you don't really have to run the ball very much. So we're going to see a lot of shotgun from them. They're going to run a ton of shotgun. He's pretty much a prototypical pro-style shotgun quarterback where they're going to throw the ball out of it a lot. And when you have guys like Allen and Johnson on the outside, you can throw the ball around as much as you want. You can let these guys motion into the backfield and run out of it, but they're going to run a ton of the screens. They will screen you a lot. They like to get the quick passes. Vaughn does a very, very good job of getting the ball out of his hand very quickly. He was sacked quite a bit in the first 3 weeks. 8 times is a lot. But he does get the ball out of his hand very quickly, and he does get the ball out with a lot of velocity. You might see these guys not catching every ball thrown their way, but that's just because Vaughn has such a strong arm. Whenever you watch them run the ball tonight, whenever they run a draw play, watch the running back. He's going to be back there for what seems like forever because they like to let these things draw out and really develop. They are going to run a ton of swing passes, as Denver said. They run the running backs are a big part of their receiving game as well. Let me get my stats here for a second. Aaron Harris has 3 touchdowns rushing, but he also has 3 receiving touchdowns. He has 95 yards through the air in correlation to his 177 yards on the ground. So he's going to be a huge part of what they do tonight offensively. But Torrance Allen, 28 receptions for 435 yards. He only has 2 touchdowns, but that's a huge number. 15 yards per catch, that's incredible. But they do like to run a lot of stop plays, a lot of comeback routes that allow these guys to separate from the defensive backs that are guarding them and have some yards after the catch. So they will be the biggest thing tonight will be to look for these guys really separating from these defensive backs, and the offensive line having to stop this great Javelina defensive line rush, because this pass rush has been very good the last couple weeks. It's put a ton of pressure on some good quarterbacks that are very mobile, and Dustin Vaughn not being very mobile. He stands 6'5", somewhere around 220 pounds. He's right down the road in Cal Allen, but thus far this year he's 103 for 161, which is just 64%. That's a very, very good stat. Right. But the most impressive stat on him tonight: 11 touchdowns, 0 picks. He has no picks, and as Denver said earlier, 1,333 yards, which is number 1 in the nation. He also leads the nation in yards per game at 444, which that speaks
outstanding.
For itself.
Yeah,
it's very outstanding. But the 2 running backs that they'll use, these guys aren't going to be rushing juggernauts. They're not going to run the ball, especially Vaughn. Vaughn will not. You won't see Vaughn roll out and do a lot of the things that the Javelinas do with the zone read or the zone rushing attack. But he is mobile enough to get away from a pass rush, but he's not mobile enough to get out there and run 60 yards. He scored his first rushing touchdown last week, actually, against A&M Commerce, but it was when they were up huge. So it was just kind of a designed quarterback run where he floated out, and nobody was there, so he just decided to run.
Right.
But you know, it should be a very, very interesting thing with this offense, and especially with the weapons they have.
We got a lot into the passing side of the game, and we have seen that they don't have a ton of rushing success outside of Aaron Harris. What do you think the biggest problem is in getting the rushing game started?
I don't know if you'd call it a problem as much as you call it a lack of a necessity. The running game hasn't had to be there for the Buffaloes. You know, they've got a great Dustin Vaughn, as Ken said, and you know the lack of running with him. He's not a Johnny Manziel type guy. You know, he makes plays, but he doesn't make plays on his feet. You know, he's a pocket passer, a Peyton Manning style type guy that likes to sit back in his pocket and make some good quality passes, which is the reason he has been sacked 8 times. But the running back, like you said, Aaron Harris, who we'll mostly see tonight, as well as Jeremy Aldridge, who splits time with him. But these guys, the running plays they do are maybe some long, drawn-out draw plays, as you would say, some little runs up the middle and some little backward pass swing routes. But so I wouldn't quite call it just a problem in the running game. The offensive line could be kind of seen as a somewhat of an issue. I mean, they have given up 8 sacks, and these guys are big. They've got a big offensive line, some big hog mollies up front, and which is good for the passing front of things. I mean, to give up 8 sacks is a lot, but if you look at how many passing attempts that Dustin Vaughn has had, 106, yeah, or 186 passing attempts.
186.
So I mean, they pass 80+% of the time. So that's good to limit it to 8 sacks. But these guys are real big, and they're not creating big holes. They're not real quick. They're not fast, and they're not making holes for the running game to even start. So besides it being just a lack of necessity, that might be a small issue that they've had in the running game.
Well, but something to look for, though, also is the fact that they are a very senior-led line. They do have 2 seniors on that line and 2 juniors, but the only thing being the redshirt freshman is starting at center in Carson,
right,
who's 6'2", 270. That's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's probably one of their smaller boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing is going to be the fact that they have 6'4", 6'4", and 6'5", all pushing 300 pounds, and 2 of those guys, 285, 295, 298. Those are really big boys back there.
Big guys.
So you can, I mean, that's going to be
there to make some good for pocket protection, but not so much on creating holes and seeing pulling guards and forming those big runs, which is obviously why we haven't seen it this year.
Yeah, they're there to get in the way.
Yeah, exactly.
And all this talk about what we talked about now about Dustin Vaughn, Aaron Harris, what do they need to do to be successful tonight?
Well, the offensive line is going to have to show up. They're going to have to create that pocket to allow Vaughn to, torch the Javelina secondary, which, he's been doing a real great job against opponents this year, and it'll be interesting to see how the Javelina secondary, the whole Javelina defense goes up against him. But the offensive line is definitely going to have to create that pocket for him. They're going to have to take advantage of the smaller size in the secondary that the Javelinas also have. And one more thing, they do need to establish somewhat of a running game. The Javelina defense, especially the D-line and our linebackers and Brandon James, are going to put some pressure on Vaughn. They know Vaughn doesn't like to scramble out, so they're going to put pressure on him. So they are going to have to establish someone of a rushing game. Have a little more versatile, a little bit of not just be able to look for the pass, which they're probably definitely going to start out to do, but they're going to have to be able to mix in all that as well.
And that's about all we have time for right now. We're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be back with a Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
We're back with the Pepsi Tailgate Central to talk about more notes on the Buffaloes. So guys, on the other side of the ball, they have athletes. I don't know how else to say it. They have 33 tackles for a loss, 13 sacks and 4 picks, 3 forced fumbles, which is huge. But who are the guys leading this defense?
Well, the guys you really have to look for in this defense are going to be all in the secondary and in the linebacking core. The leader on this defense is going to be Taylor McCullough. He is a senior linebacker who, he's played for 3 years. This will be his third year as a starter. But he leads the team with 30 tackles, 3.5 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, and a pick. And that's all from the linebacking position. So he's playing that middle linebacker position. He's going to plug holes in the run game. He's going to, he's going to have to drop back into pass protect. But he's basically done everything for these guys so far. Curtis Slater will be your number 2 guy on their defensive stats. He is second on the team with 25 tackles, 4.5 tackles for a loss, which from a free safety spot is
that's big.
That's big. That's a lot of safety stunts, safety blitzes that these guys they like to put the pressure on the quarterback and on the other offense. He also has 2 sacks, which is second on the team, which he's tied with another player. But from a safety, as we said before, he's not even up on the line. He's supposed to be back in pass coverage, and he's up on the line playing like Troy Polamalu is what it seems like. But he also has one pick. So he does drop back into pass protection. He is a very good pass protector, but he likes to go knock your head off too. They're going to have a lot of these guys in the secondary. Their second string, free safety and strong safety will both. They like to go after the ball, and they like to hit the receivers that are going after the ball. They like to hit running backs. These guys just like to hit. The third guy on the list is actually listed as a linebacker, but he's going to play more of a drop-in defensive end outside linebacker role. His name's Bryant Johnson, number 18. 14 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 2.5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. So he's going to be a big run stopper. He's more of the DeMarcus Ware, I guess you could say. He's known as being a pass rusher, not as a guy that's going to drop back into coverage and do a very, very good job at, breaking up passes. But the number 1 guy to watch for in the backfield, in the defensive backfield at least, is going to be Torion Oakley. Number 21, he's a cornerback. He has 13 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, which that's pretty good coming from a cornerback spot. But the big thing is his 2 picks he has. He's picked off, he's been in on every play. He has, I want to say 4 or 5 broken up passes, which if you're a cornerback, that's what you're looking for, is to get your hand in there on the wide receiver and break up that pass. But, I mean, they have tons of other guys that could be on this list, but these are the 4 guys that were sitting at the top of their statistical list and seem to have made the biggest impact so far.
And so what do they look like lining up?
Well, they have a base defense of a 3-4-4, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 in the secondary. But what they like to do with that is, like Ken said, a lot of their main tacklers are their secondary and their linebackers, and that being because their linebackers, as he said with Brian Johnson, they like to drop down into a 4-3. So they'll kind of, not so much as audible, but they'll move a linebacker down and make it a 4-man front, and sometimes they'll even move another one of their linebackers and bring it to a 5-2. So they really like to mix their linebackers into some defensive line roles, and that's really been a big part of their success. They've only given up 108 yards per game on the ground, which is awesome. So you can tell, obviously, they're bringing some blitz, some stunts, and guys are getting in there. And as Ken said earlier with Slater, one of their free safeties, one of their defensive backs, he has 2 forced fumbles and 4.5 tackles for loss. So he gets in there. They're bringing guys in from all over the angles, tons of stunts we're going to see on the defensive line, and a lot of just linebacker blitzes and crosses and some fake blitzes, dropping back in the zones to get the interceptions they've gotten. But so a real standard 3-4 defense, and switching things up by a 4-3 and 5-3.
Their kicking game has been very solid so far, but tell us about the dangerous kick returner Nathan Slaughter.
Well, Nathan Slaughter is actually a wide receiver, and he's actually number 3 on the wide receiver list right now, statistics-wise. He has 12 receptions for 124 yards. He's sitting somewhere around 10 yards per catch, but that's pretty good. He actually only has 1 touchdown. His longest reception is 20 yards, but I feel like he doesn't get as much credit for his speed. Whenever you have 2 guys out there like Torrance Allen and Anthony Johnson, it's pretty tough to get some catches. But in the kicking game, he has 6 returns for 279 yards. I mean, that's incredible. That's 46.5 yards per return, which is just phenomenal. I mean, that's what every coach wants And a kick returner is someone that has that big playability every time that they touch the ball. And he does have one touchdown, but that one touchdown came somewhere in the second or third quarter in the Commerce game last week, and really broke it open for him. You know, they came out, they looked a little sluggish last week, but when you have a guy in the backfield of your punt team or your kick return team like Nathan Slaughter that has this big playability and can just absolutely burn the rest of the defense off the field anytime he wants, you know, it's pretty tough to defend that. I mean, that puts a huge spark into that offense and into anyone else that or any other aspect of their team. You know, that pumps everybody up.
That goes along with their punt returner too, Jeremy Watson. Watson, so like I said, Nathan Slaughter's the kick returner. Jeremy Watson's their punt returner, and Jeremy Watson's done a great job. I mean, they've only had 8 punts, 2 of them, but 13.4 yards a punt, which is pretty solid. You know, a lot of those have been down in the 20, and being on the punt return aspect, you're having to make an adjustment, and just to get 13.7 yards after the punt is a real solid number on that end of it.
Yeah,
so.
and actually Slaughter was the LSC Special Teams Player of the Week last week after that huge return that he had against Commerce.
Yeah, he was.
And can you add on to the kicking game?
The kicking game is actually really spectacular. First off, their punter, he's also their kickoff guy, but Kevin Van Voris. Kevin Van Voris he's got a boot. I mean, the guy can kick. You know, so he's punted 14 times and 681 yards. That's 48.6 yards per punt. So I mean, the guy's definitely helping out his defense by pinning, you know, the other team in some bad spots. He's got 5 that he's pinned down inside the 20. So I mean, that's solid. And now his kickoffs, he's had 28 kickoffs, which is a lot of kickoffs in 3 games. But you see how much scoring that the Buffaloes have done. You're going to see a lot of kickoffs, and 60.6 yards per kick. So I mean, he's really booting the ball down there. He's got 8 touchbacks to go along with that, which is solid. I mean, that really helps out, you know, the defensive end of things whenever you're having special teams like that. And now their big guy, which is quite a story, Sergio Castillo. Sergio Castillo is a senior. He's been at West Texas for a long time now, and he's coming up on a pretty significant, pretty big record, which is points per, total points scored. And, you know, of course, the game of football is about who scores the most points. So to have a kicker that's had all this success is amazing. But this season alone, already in 3 games, he's 8 for 8 on his field goals. 4 of those came in week 2 versus Children's State, which was a humongous game. That was their come-from-behind victory. But so he was 4 for 4 that game. Overall, 8 for 8. So just in field goals alone, that's 24 points he's had this season. And then extra points, every single touchdown that West Texas scored this year, he's complemented all of them with a 100% success rate, going 16 for 16 on his extra points. So 40 total points he's had this season alone for the Buffaloes. With that being said, 332 is the record for total points scored at West Texas, and he's right there, 4 points behind it. So we're looking at seeing a record being broken tonight with just 1 field goal and 1 extra point. And not only him, but West Texas, they have got a lot of upperclassmen on special teams, defense, offense. Dustin Vaughn, who we talked about earlier, is he's 300-something yards away from breaking their all-time passing record. So
he's also second in the LSC for 2 other records, which is yards per game and points per season.
Points per season. So
he's pretty high up there.
A lot of guys. So you got this big special teams that's going to be led by Castillo as well as Slaughter on the returning end coming in tonight, who both are, and also, which we failed to mention, Slaughter's return last week was tied for first on the longest return ever in the LSC. So a lot of explosiveness coming from the special teams, a lot of explosiveness coming from the defense, and a lot of great things to look for in the offense as well.
And we're running out of time now. We're going to take our second commercial break, and we'll be right back with Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now. Can you feel the sun? Whoa. Whoa. Can you feel the sun?
That's slow. That's slow. That's slow and below.
And we're back with the Pepsi Tailgate Central. We have given y'all a good overview about their explosive offense, their solid defense, and their clutch special team. Now, what can we see tonight against the Javelinas?
Well, what to watch out for would really be Dustin Vaughn in this passing game. We said earlier, Vaughn's not very mobile, so he's not going to get out and rush for any huge amount of yards. But their receivers are explosive. Their running backs are explosive in the passing game, not so much in the running game. They don't have a huge amount of running game. But, the biggest thing to watch out for will be Dustin Vaughn in this passing game. And on the defensive side of the ball, it'll be to watch out for Taylor McCullough and his ability to, if he even has any ability, to stop this powerful Javelina running game. Right. The biggest thing is going to be their defensive line. They play very, very fast, but they're not big. We have big athletic offensive linemen. They have athletic but smaller defensive linemen. So we could see who can push who around tonight. And as we've said every week so far, it's going to be one in the trenches first and foremost, I think, in the running game and in the passing game for both teams.
It will be a battle in the trenches. And another thing, West Texas has 48 points per game offensively, which is insane. I mean, 48 points per game, that's almost an average of 7 touchdowns per it's per game.
Every time
And
you walk out of the locker room.
and so that's big for them. And so the Javelinas haven't scored quite that many points per game, mainly because they run a lot more clock out with their explosive running game. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how the running game of the Javelinas matches up with this strong defense we've talked about with the Buffaloes, and then how the secondary as well as the whole defense for the Javelinas matches up with this strong, powerful offense of the Buffaloes. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a shootout tonight. It's going to have to be, because West Texas is going to come down here from Canyon and they're going to put some points up.
Well, the thing we also didn't say is that their defenses had some trouble with the run.
A little bit. Yeah.
Nobody they've played has had a ton of running game, but
That's true.
We
do have a running game, so it'll be interesting. It'll be a good test for the West Texas defensive line tonight, as well as defense.
All right, and that's all we have time for on notes on the visiting West Texas A&M Buffaloes. I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach. Thank you guys for here talking about that today. I'm Ashlyn Tobar, and we'll be back with the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am here with defensive backs coach James Jefferson. How you doing, coach?
All right, how you doing today?
Here with defensive lineman Zane Brown. How you doing, Zane?
I'm good.
And we'll be right back after this quick message.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in
750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hello, I'm James Espinosa, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm joined with defensive backs coach James Jefferson, senior defensive lineman Zane Brown. How y'all guys doing today? First of all, coach, how's the week been going for practice? It's been a beautiful week, beautiful weather. Not like last week, of course, but how's practice been going for the secondary so far this weekend?
Well, I mean, we put together a decent practice. One day was kind of bad, but I mean, that's to be expected sometimes. So, I mean, we went out, we had a real good day yesterday, and I think we're all ready to go.
All righty. Yeah, you could expect a few little wrinkles here and there, I guess. That's the norm with practice throughout the week. But Zane, let's get to you real quick. You had one sack last weekend. I saw you got that, flexed on them a little bit. But you were also in on several other tackles. How do you feel about your performance last weekend?
It was definitely a overall decent game, but left a lot of plays on the table still. Still got a lot of room for improvement. So definitely not satisfied. So I'm continuing to work and get better and make more plays to help my team win games. So definitely continue to keep better. So it was good.
Yeah, it was definitely good. Last week, Coach, the defense, y'all guys had 2 interceptions, one by lineman Victor Castro, who took it to the house. Also another one by Kerry Wheatfall Jr., defensive back. Just overall, what did you like from the performance last weekend from the secondary?
Well, I'm kind of like Zane on that, in that aspect. I mean, I think we went out, we played really well. I think the first 2 quarters, and then kind of just like what happened in Dallas. I mean, we need to learn to stay focused. We need to learn that we got people down to keep them down, and not let guys back in the game. I mean, because those guys on scholarship too, they come into play, and once we learn to do that, I think we'll be a lot better.
So to speak, just when y'all guys have the team down, just to kind of put the pedal to the metal and finish them out. That's what you're trying to work on.
Exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and okay. What was there anything that y'all guys saw on film throughout the week that you didn't like, and anything that y'all guys can improve on?
Well,
secondary-wise.
When you watch the tape, I mean, it's when you're at the game, you got to always watch the tape, because the game could be not as good as it is, as it seems, or not as bad as it seems. But as far as watching the tape and what those guys with McMurray did to us last week, a real quick, short passing game, these guys go downfield.
Yeah.
And they have the receivers to do it. They got a quarterback with a very strong arm. But so the game plan is a little bit different. But other than that, I mean, we have to go out and cover.
Yep.
Whether it's zone, man, what have you, and give Zane those guys opportunity to get to the quarterback and make the plays that they need to make up front. So we put it all together.
Yes, sir. And Zane, with you being a captain of the team, captain of the defense as well, how do you feel this unit has performed through 3 games so far in this young season?
It's pretty much the same thing that we've been saying all along. We definitely have been performing well enough to this point to be 3-0 and to have some of the numbers that we have now, but we definitely need to keep working and keep improving and just keep coming together as a team. And like Coach Jefferson just said, we need to learn how to finish games, because if we do that, we'll be a good team and the sky will be the limit. So we just need to continue to come together and learn to finish these games strong.
Alrighty, and we're coming up on our first commercial break. We'll be right back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am James Espinosa, joined this morning with defensive backs coach James Jefferson, senior defensive lineman Zane Brown. Coach Jefferson, West Texas comes in with a prolific passing attack. They average 445 yards per game in the air. What are you feeling that your guys are going to have to do to prepare for such a heavy dosage of pass attack? What are you expecting your guys to do tonight to counter that?
I expect them to stop it. That's what we practice for. And then not put their head down if something go bad. They're gonna have a little adversity. They'll hit us every now and then, but we gotta hang in there and do the things that we do, that we practice. If we do that, we got a game. If we don't, then it won't be much of a game.
Yes, sir. If y'all guys do that, the sky's the limit, would you say? Anything could happen in Lone Star Conference football, so it's all about the two teams going out there and playing the game, and I guess the best team at the end is going to win. First of all, Zane, what do you think about the atmosphere of the Tailgate Central with the fans obviously will be in the background later. Javelina Nation's going to be going crazy for y'all guys later. Just what do you feel about this overall atmosphere of the tailgate?
It's a great atmosphere. Great day for football. Got nice weather, so it's going to be a packed house. Got a lot of fans here tonight. Everyone's excited. It's a matchup between two undefeated teams, two really good football teams playing tonight, so it's definitely exciting to play in this atmosphere. This is what you come to Kingsville to play for, so it's definitely exciting.
This is definitely what you come to Kingsville to play for. It's unlike any other Division II institution out there with the tailgate and what we got going on here. It's just overall great. And Coach, last week y'all guys had Trevor Hessick. He got ejected for the targeting rule. And that's something new this year. Is that something you've been trying to teach your guys in the defensive backfield on not to lead with the helmet? Is that something that these guys are still kind of learning, you know what I mean, with the new rule and how they're kind of changing it up a little bit?
Got to be careful with that. But it was unfortunate what happened to Pepsi.
Yes.
I mean, you watch the tape, it's up to who was watching.
Yeah.
But no, we don't. These guys are taking it very, very serious nowadays, and you shouldn't lead with your helmet and what have you, because at the end of the day, the guy that's leading with the helmet is the guy that ends up being hurt. So no, we teach the guys to tackle correctly, and then we take it all the way back to head up, and if you can see it, see what you hit and stuff like that. And so, football is a dangerous sport, and yes. I've been fortunate enough to play it for a long time and get through it unscathed, but I've also been been playing when some bad things have happened to people that you just don't talk about because of that.
Yeah.
And so, it's just trying to make it right and make it safe.
Yes, sir. And Zane, just from your defensive perspective with the line and everything like that, how y'all guys on the line been preparing for West Texas this week?
We have a good game plan in place. We just continue to work hard, work a lot of hand drills this week, a lot of pass rush drills this week, just getting ready for that passing attack that they have that we definitely can stop. We get pressure on the quarterback, help the secondary out, give them some time to get some hands on the ball and things like that. So if just the coverage help the rush and the rush help the coverage, and we can do some good things tonight. So that's definitely what we've been working on all week, and it's been a good week of practice, and we're excited.
Alrighty, and coming up on our last break right here, we'll be right back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, a recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm James Espinosa, and Coach Jefferson, I just want to thank you for being on set today. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Looking forward to having you on sometime in the near future. Zane, your first time on set, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be here on game day. Just want to thank you for that. Any final thoughts, Coach?
No final thoughts. It's just, we're here to play. I'm ready. I know the guys are ready, so it'll be a good game tonight. You guys come out and watch it.
Alrighty, Zane, any final thoughts real quick?
Just show up and play, do our job, and we can be successful tonight. So we do those things, everything will take care of itself.
Alrighty, and we're definitely looking forward to the game tonight, and that's going to wrap it up here right now. We're going to have head coach David Calloway on at 12 o'clock. Welcome, head coach David Calloway on at 12 o'clock, and that's it from the Pepsi Tailgate Central.
Welcome to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Michael Mendez, here today with Robbie Brown and Fred Nush to talk about your Lone Star Conference update. We'll be with you right after these messages.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, a recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Mendez here at Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here with Robbie Brown and Fred Nush to talk about the Lone Star Conference. Now, going right into it, let's talk about what the conference really is all about, guys. The teams, these gladiators going against each other to compete to be number one. Now, first I want to talk about Abilene Christian versus Tarleton State, and just your thoughts on how you think that's going to go this week.
Well, I know how I want it to go. Abilene Christian probably is still not much team than what we saw, when they were in the Lone Star Conference. And Tarleton has started off like a ball of fire. They've been very hot their first 3 games. So I would think that they probably got a good chance, and they're at home, I think, against Abilene. So I would think that Tarleton's probably got a really good chance against Abilene. Of course, being very biased to the Lone Star Conference, it would sure be nice to see the Texas. You don't root for the Lone Star Conference teams very often, but when they play outside the league, it's like a family. Then you get together and you want to see the family win.
Definitely. And your thoughts?
Well, Tarleton State should have won the game last year that was part of the Lone Star Conference football festival. They had their chances and just let it slip away. Last week, they showed the ability against Angelo State to come back and then close the door once they had the lead late. So maybe this is a new change for them this year where they can win the close games.
Well, hopefully they are turning over that new leaf. And also Eastern New Mexico versus Incarnate Word.
Well, Incarnate Word's kind of interesting this year. They've played 2 NAIA schools, which they beat, and then they've played 2 Southland Conference schools, which is the conference they'll be joining in football next year. And they got stomped in both those games by Central Arkansas and Sam Houston State. So it's hard to say if they've improved over last year or not, but I think Eastern New Mexico's got a really good shot at going into their stadium and beating them.
Would you agree with Mr. Brown?
I agree with that. Yeah, I think so too. I think that it should be a pretty even game. Now, Eastern also played some D3 schools, and they've been, they haven't really played the tough teams yet, but I don't think you could consider Incarnate Word really a tough team. They're one that has moved up to 1AA that there's still some question about whether they're quite ready for that. They struggled in the Lone Star Conference D2, so I think that, again, like I say, you kind of hope Eastern can go in there and beat them, and at least on comparative scores and on paper, you would think that Eastern will be able to play with them okay, even though they're in San Antonio.
Well, they did beat Incarnate Word by 10 last year as part of the Lone Star Conference Festival as well, so they definitely have a good shot.
And both Abilene Christian and Incarnate Word are both teams that are ex-LSC Conference, so I just want to see what y'all's thoughts are on that. Do you think that'll affect the game at all, just us going against ones who used to be our own?
Oh, I kind of doubt it, because I'm not too sure that'll have a whole lot to do. Although there was some feelings that Abilene Christian, I don't think so much as Incarnate Word. Everybody kind of said, when they said Incarnate Word is moving to 1AA and also into the Southland, there was kind of, what? Is that for real? But now Abilene, I think there was more of a feeling of, they may be capable of doing it. Of course, they've been there before, and they probably have an opportunity. Their program's in such shape that they'll be able to step up, probably, I don't want to say step up, step over a little bit more than what Incarnate Word will be able to.
I'd have to agree, sir. Well, it looks like we're coming up on a commercial break, but we'll be right back to Pepsi Tailgate Central right after these messages.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, a recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
we're back. I'm Michael Mendez here at the Pepsi Tailgate Central with Robbie Brown and Fred Nush to talk about your Lone Star Conference update. Now, getting back into the teams, Angelo State is going against Valdosta State. Now, Valdosta State is #1 right now. Do you think that this game right here is going to be real huge for the conference, being with just that information alone?
Oh yeah. if Angelo could go over there and beat him in Valdosta, that would be a heck of a surprise and would be really a shot in the arm for the conference. But that really looks tough because Valdosta's defending national champions. They're #1. They're at home, so that odds are really against Angelo.
Well, and I don't think Angelo needs to win it to make a good showing for the conference. If they can just be competitive, kind of like what we did last year. Our last game of the season last year on the road was at Valdosta, and we went in there and had a shot to win it at the end. Lost the ball on 4th down, and they were able to drive for the winning score. So I thought that made a good showing for the conference. So if Angelo can just do something like that, it'll make us as a conference look good.
And Angelo is one of these hungry teams. You know, they're trying to make a comeback into the the top of the pack, and Valdosta can't help but look at Angelo as being probably a sure win, and that never hurts you either when you're the underdog.
Now, talking about what we're really all here for today, the game today with West Texas A&M. Now, it's to my understanding that we have 3 LSC teams nationally ranked, and Tamuk is only 2 spots away from being nationally ranked as well. Now, with that right there on the table, how important do you think this game is, not just for Texas A&M, but for the LSC in general?
I think it's more important for us than it is as a conference in general, because we've gone in last 2 years and West Texas has ended up defeating us pretty handily, and we need to be able to make a statement against them that we can play with the top teams in the nation, and this is as good an opportunity as any right here to do it.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is a major game, because West Texas State, until someone proves otherwise, they're the class of the Lone Star Conference. They shared the title last year, but actually ended up making a good showing, and then this year they're heavily favored to win. They've got 4 or 5 players who are being considered professional prospects, and right now they're the top dog in the league. So if you can knock off the top dog, it does wonders for our program. Like Robbie said, it would do wonders for the Javelinas. Of course, conference, it doesn't matter, because if they get knocked off, somebody else in the conference will move up into a higher spot, and we'll keep our 3 or 4 teams, I think, in the top rankings this year. But for us, this is really a big game. It's not the end of the year if you lose to them, but still, it would be a real step in the right direction if we could beat them.
Now, the talk that has been coming up is all about the quarterback of West Texas A&M, Dustin Vaughn. I had actually gone to school with Vaughn.
Oh, really?
Yes. I knew he was good in football, but I had no clue he'd be this big of a threat.
Well, he benefits from their style of offense. It's pass, and the linemen are trained and provide him good coverage, and they've got 5-6 receivers out there in the patterns all the time, and that's going to help build up his stats.
Definitely. Well, it looks like we're coming up to another commercial break here, but we're going to wrap things up when we come back to Pepsi Tailgate Central.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Mendez here at Pepsi Tailgate Central with Robbie Brown and Fred Nush. Now, we're going to wrap things up, but before we do, I want to ask what you all think about this game tonight, what's going down. Do you think that the Javelina is going to have to put any extra effort in shutting down the quarterback of West Texas A&M, Dustin Vaughn?
Yes. I think we're going to have to get consistent pressure on him and put him on his back a couple of times. See how he reacts to pressure and not having all day to find the open receivers, because if you give him enough time, he'll find them and they'll take the ball moving downfield.
Yeah, I tell you what, anybody has seen the games the last 2 years, they know what he can do to you, because he really had success against us the past 2 seasons. But I think also a key to tonight's game too is going to be how we can our offense goes against theirs, because I'm sure we'll be a run team, and so it's going to be interesting to see if we can run against their defense. Our offense, people keep saying it doesn't look quite the way it should yet, but we scored 40 points 2 weeks ago and we scored 52 last weekend. Those are not bad totals. Now, granted, we haven't played West Texas A&M type defense, but I think our offense against them is very important, as well as us stopping their passing game.
Well, it looks like everything's up in the air, but there's one thing for sure. It's definitely going to be a good and interesting game tonight. Well, looks like we're ready to wrap things up here. I'm Michael Mendez. This was Pepsi Tailgate Central. Thank you, Robbie Brown. Thank you, Fred Nush.
Thank you.
Thank you, football. Let's get ready for a good game tonight. Thank you all. This was Pepsi Tailgate Central.
Go Hogs.
Go Javelinas.
Go Javelinas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sydney Hernandez.
And my name is Jarvis McGee.
And we're live here at Pepsi Tailgate Central. We'll take a look at what we saw today at the tailgate after a few words from our sponsors. Good afternoon.
Established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Well, welcome back, Javelina fans. My name is Jarvis McGee, and we're here live at the Pepsi Tailgate Central. And I had the privilege and honor of talking to a proud mom and a senior who's graduating in December, Abigail. How'd you feel about the tailgate, Cindy?
Well, I felt we had a lot of energy at that tailgate today. I got the chance to talk to some really proud alumni and a future Javelina. Let's take a look. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sydney Hernandez, and I'm here live at Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm here with Cody, an alumni from May 2012. What are you expecting to get out of tonight? What are you cooking, Cody?
Well, I hope we win, first of all, because we're playing a good team. And we got some pork tenderloin, we got some pork ribs, a little bit of fajitas and sausage.
I understand you've been doing this for a while, so how long have you been doing this?
Well, I came over here when I was 18, so I would say roughly 8 years, 9 years probably.
And you still have a whole bunch of Javelina pride. It hasn't left you, has it?
Oh, man, no. Look at that. Javelinas go.
And we have a whole bunch of people behind us, don't we?
Yeah. HKN Club.
Good evening. My name is Jarvis McGee, and we're live at the Pepsi Tailgate Center. I'm here with
Abigail Medrano.
And Francis Saavedra.
All right. First question is I'm going to ask Abigail. Abigail, I hear that you're a senior. How does it feel to be a senior?
You know, it feels awesome. All my hard work has finally paid off. I'm excited for the new adventure of my life, and I can't wait to see what's next.
All right. And as an alumni, are you going to come back and support the Javelina family?
Most definitely, I will. I love the Javelina family, and I would, in the near future, I would encourage my future kids to attend.
And how does it feel to have your mom here with you at your family fiesta tailgate?
You know, it's good to have her support here. You know, it just shows to a different extent that she's a supporter of my education.
And how does it feel to see that your daughter is going to graduate in December?
Feels wonderful, and I'm very proud of her.
All righty. And so, again, we're live at the Pepsi Tailgate Center. My name is Jarvis McGee. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. My name is Sydney Hernandez, and I'm joined with the family here for Family Fiesta. We have a father, a daughter, and a future Javelina with us. What's your name, babe?
Nadine.
And your dad?
Luis.
And your sister?
Christine.
So, Christine, you think you're going to be a future Javelina one day?
Yes.
And how do you think that you've been here for 2 years, how do you think we're going to do today against West Texas?
I hope we beat them.
Yeah? So this is your first tailgate, I understand. How's it going for you so far?
It's going good. It's better than I expected.
Definitely. And do you think you'll be back for the years to come?
Definitely next time, yeah.
And what are you becoming a future Javelina?
It's better for me because they'll be here together. It'll save me some money.
Definitely. And you'll have an older sister keeping an eye out. So what do you think is going to be the prediction for the game? Do you think we're going to take it home?
The what?
Do you think we're going to take the win today against West Texas?
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of Javelina pride traveling all the way from Donna, Texas, supporting the Rio Grande Valley. We're here going to get some Hoggy Nation pride out there. So let's hear it. Stay tuned for 7 p.m. for the game for Hoggy Nation. Thanks for tuning in with the Javelina Broadcast Network.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Jarvis McGee, and we're live at the Pepsi Tailgate Center. I'm here with
Claudia Coronado and Olga Coronado.
All right, and first of all, I'm going to say this is a great honor to be interviewing these two lovely ladies. My first question goes to you. How does it feel to have your parents here for your first tailgate for Family Fiesta?
It feels really good. Like they give me support, and it just motivates me even more to strive and succeed and achieve my goals.
All righty. And the next question is to you, Mom. How did it feel to see your daughter becoming a great leader that she is in college?
It makes me feel really proud. And I'm going to cry because it's just been amazing. This journey, I know her journey has just begun, but it's been an amazing one already.
All right. And all right, what's your predictions for tonight to see your first Javelina football game?
Well, I hope they win.
Right.
I know they're going to win, right? Yeah.
All right, that's good. And also, thank you for tuning in to Pepsi Tailgate Central. You're here with Jarvis McGee. Thank you and have a good night.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, a recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Welcome back, Hoggy Nation. We've had a great turnout so far at Pepsi Tailgate Central for our Family Fiesta weekend. I got the chance to talk to number 16, Layden Palmer's parents, a San Antonio barbecuing family, and some die-hard Javelina fans. Let's check that out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, at Pepsi Tailgate Central. My name is Sydney Hernandez, and I'm here joined with
Bonnie and Richard Palmer.
And I understand you have a son on the field tonight.
We do. Number 16, Layton.
And what position does Layden play?
Wide receiver.
And this is Family Fiesta Weekend. Do you guys come every Family Fiesta Weekend?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
And how long has Layden been with us?
3 years.
3 years. So this is a reoccurring thing. You guys will continue to come. Is this his senior year?
Absolutely.
No,
it's a
junior. Junior.
Okay. So y'all be here next year. Definitely supporting him. And are the Javelinas going to win tonight?
Oh, they're going
Most definitely.
Yes.
We have a lot of Javelina pride, don't we? And where are we from?
Blanco, Texas.
Okay, how many hours is that from here?
That's 3 hours.
So we drove a while to get down here to see our boys tonight.
No,
Absolutely.
we do.
Yes.
We come down and we leave the RV here through the whole football season, and that way we just come in and we have a place to stay and we come tailgating and enjoy the game.
Definitely. And are we cooking tonight?
Absolutely.
And what are we making?
Brisket and wings.
Sounds.
HEB bought.
We got some wild hog wings.
That just sounds delicious. So we have our flag up here supporting Hoggy Nation, and we're going to have a whole bunch of pride out on that field tonight. Make sure to be tuning in for number 16, Layden.
Go Javelinas!
Thanks for tuning in. We're here live at Pepsi Tailgate Central. Welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. My name is Sydney Hernandez, and we're live here with
Joe Coronado, Frank Cardenas,
And Corey Cardenas.
and we're all here celebrating Family Fiesta Weekend. We have a daughter, a father, we have a mother, a grandmother, another father waiting for his daughter to come here, and we're all having a whole bunch of fun. I understand we're cooking something tonight.
We're cooking ribs, we're cooking hamburgers, we're cooking chicken and chicken fajitas.
And rumor has it that we're some pretty good cooks, I understand.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. We're representing from San Antonio, the Holy Smokes barbecue team.
We're fat for a reason. Look at us. That's why, because we know how to cook.
So we traveled a couple hours to get down here for tailgate. Do you think we're gonna win tonight? Do you think it's all gonna be worth it? How do you feel about that?
Yes, I think we are. We've won the past couple of games, so very excited.
And you're a senior, so this is not your first tailgate. How do you feel about this? Since it's your senior year, is this gonna be one of your last ones?
Yes, probably. Well, except for homecoming, that big day, and then I'll come here for homecoming every year. So.
And when you graduate, then you'll visit the Javelinas?
Of course I will.
So we have a whole bunch of Javelina pride out here tonight, all the way from San Antonio, coming to watch the Javelinas take down West Texas A&M. Welcome back. We're live here at Pepsi Tailgate Central. My name is Sydney Hernandez, and I'm here with...
Eli Medellin.
And?
Ken Bacham.
And?
Aaron Rodriguez.
So we have a humongous crowd. We have a humongous crowd out here tonight supporting the Javelinas. I understand y'all are cooking. What are y'all making today?
We came out here today cooking some brisket, chicken, and some ribs. Just trying to have a good time out here, support our alma mater, and hopefully they go out there and kick some tail against the West Texas Buffaloes.
Definitely, and I see you're drinking. What are we drinking tonight?
Oh, we drink some Coors Light, got some Canadian Hunter. I mean, whatever comes our way, that's what we're gonna be drinking.
Definitely. So do you think you're gonna be ready for that game today?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we just want A&M Kingsville to go out there and beat West Texas A&M.
What's your prediction of the score? What do you think? How do you think it's gonna take it?
You know, I mean, I've seen a lot of the scores and stuff like that. I mean, West Texas, they're pretty tough, but I mean, we got a tough team too. So we're gonna give it a hell of a fight. My opinion on that is I'm a Javelina, but we ain't been tested all year. This is our first game that we're being tested, and it's gonna be one. No, really, it's gonna be a game to where we find out if we're really as good as 4-0.
Definitely. I mean, they're tough, but we're tougher, right, guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We definitely have some Javelina pride out here tonight. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Make sure to watch the game at 7 p.m. Keep it locked in at the Javelina Broadcast Network. Thank you.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa.
time we have for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Javelina Broadcast Network. Be sure to catch us live at the 6 o'clock Pepsi pregame show. Once again, my name is Sydney Hernandez.
And my name is Jarvis McGee.
Thanks for tuning in to the Pepsi Tailgate Show.
Have a good night.
Hi, and welcome to the Pepsi pregame show. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach. And it's a beautiful day outside here at Javelina Stadium. Guys, what is it looking like for game time today?
Well, you know, Ashlyn, it's a beautiful day out here. Right around 91, 92 degrees right now. A little bit cloudy outside, but for game time we should be looking for right around 90 degrees. And with the overcast like it is, we should see the temperature drop just a little bit more. But the wind may play a big factor today. The wind is blowing quite hard, as you can see.
Yeah, we have a great matchup tonight. Number 4, West Texas A&M coming down to Kingsville to face Texas A&M University, Kingsville, Javelina. So it'll be a real great matchup.
And after a short break, we'll be back with the Pepsi pregame show.
Squarely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. Squarely's Liquor has the largest selection of craft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squarely's Liquor says don't drink and drive. Give them a call at 361-595-1818 or visit them in-store at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D in Kingsville, Texas. That's 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D next to Cowgirl Saloon. Thank you to Squarely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hi, and welcome back to the Pepsi pregame show. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach. Offensively for West Texas has been explosive so far. Who's been the impact players for this offense?
Well, so far we've seen Dustin Vaughn really come out. You know, the Cal Allen guy from right down the road here in Kingsville. You know, he's coming home. He's going to play. He's going to play this Javelina team, who's 3-0, as you said earlier. But you know, this guy is the #1 quarterback in the nation. He is projected to go number 3 or 2 in the 3rd or 4th round of next year's draft, and you know that's a huge thing coming out as a D2 guy. He leads the nation in total passing yards and passing yards per game. That stat is 333 yards total and 444.3 yards per game, which is just an enormous stat. He's a prototypical sized quarterback for any pro-style offense, especially with the way that it's going to change now with the, you know, more pass-heavy. But he's not really great in the aspect of the zone reads because he is very immobile in the sense of getting away from guys that can really rush the passer. He's been sacked 8 times so far, but he's done a very good job of evading pressure and moving the pocket and getting outside of the pocket to extend plays. He's just not really going to be able to run and get away from, I feel like, some of the guys tonight that we're going to see on the defensive line for the Javelinas.
Yeah, no, like you've been saying, he's not the greatest runner. He actually has negative rushing yards on the season, but his arm's what's really led him as well as the Buffaloes into the success they've had this season. He was the Offensive Player of the Week for the LSC week 1 and week 3, had 6 touchdown passes during week 1, but as Ken said, 11 touchdown passes this season, no picks. And some of his favorite targets, Torrance Allen is the wide receiver that leads the way. He's got 29 catches for 435 yards with 2 touchdowns, which is pretty strong. Another one of his favorite wide receivers, who you'll see tonight, Anthony Johnson, 16 catches, 288 yards, and he's got 3 touchdowns. One thing they like to do, and I'd call him an impact player too, is their running back, Aaron Harris. He's a little quiet as a running back figure. However, he still has some good rushing yards, but he's more of a receiving running back in a sense. He's got 3 receiving touchdowns as well as 3 touchdowns on the ground. So look for him to be out on some quick little screen routes, some quick swings, and some little draw plays to have some balanced yards on the ground as well as in the air. With that being said, the offensive line supporting them, it's kind of been a little sketchy. They're different. They're built for the type of offensive style that West Texas brings, protecting Dustin Vaughn. And like I said, Dustin Vaughn's thrown 164 times and only been sacked 8 times, which is pretty solid. But when it comes to opening up a running game, not all the way there, due to the fact of there's some big guys and they're not the fastest, so they're not really opening holes up, but more of making that pocket, getting that pocket for Dustin Vaughn to be able to throw.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The whole thing that you've had to really watch out for in the sense of this offensive line has been their inability to really handle athletic defensive linemen. And, as you said, the impact player would be the running back, Aaron Harris, who's done a very good job, but it's more of the fact that he's impressive in the receiving game. He could be a receiver. He could go and be a receiver anywhere with his speed and, his ability to catch the ball.
Same with the other running back, Jeremy Aldridge, who I didn't mention. Kind of pretty much the same type of style as Harris brings to the table. And both, like you said, both of them are really good receiving type running backs.
Yeah, no, definitely. But the whole thing is going to be them getting out and letting having their linemen actually open up that running game a little bit and moving the ball a little bit for them.
They are going to have to probably establish something like that to go along with the passing game, which they haven't had to do in the past. With their other games, they've been all on the arm of Vaughn, which is all they've needed to do. So they really haven't had to establish that. But if the secondary steps up for the Javelinas tonight, which we'll see if they do, they might have to establish that running game. So it'll be interesting to see if Harris as well as Aldridge get more carries than used to tonight, especially with the pressure and stuff that will be being brought from the Javelina defense.
Yeah, and we'll see how they can pick up that pass rush also.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And with that line in mind, who's going to be opposing the Buffalo line?
Well, the defensive line for the Javelinas has been strong, and as we talked about with some of the weaknesses, not quite weaknesses on the line of the offensive line, but more of just kind of the lack of speed and intensity.
Well, the lack of necessity for a run.
Right, exactly. And so it's the defensive line for the Javelinas that will play a big factor tonight. And you've got people like Henry Greathouse, Ricky Marshall, and then senior leaders in Zane Brown. Zane Brown is a senior this year. He's a smart football player. He gets in there, a hard-nosed football player. He's got 17 tackles this year, 3.5 tackles for loss and a sack. So he's a great leader. We should see do a lot tonight on really trying to get in there and put pressure on Vaughn, as well as Robert Williams, another senior. Robert Williams is a defensive end type. He kind of moves back in and out. It's kind of like an anchoring position in a sense, but Williams, another real smart senior defensive lineman. He's got 18 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, no sacks, but he's got a few quarterback knockdowns. He also has a clutch interception where he dropped back in his zone week 1 up in Washington versus Central Washington. But look for those 4 to really have a big game in the sense of the aggressiveness that they bring to the table and what they can do to put pressure on Vaughn tonight and really try to push him out of the pocket and get some more sacks. And that'll be complemented with some decent middle linebackers and a good secondary. I mean, Brandon James, who was the defensive player of the week for the Javelinas, LSC player of the week, week 1, he's a headhunter. He gets in there, makes plays. He's had a few forced fumbles. I think he's second or third, I believe, in tackles on the team. And then you got people like Trevor Peshik, who has a few sacks and likes to get in there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then you have to look for the guys in the defensive backfield, and Anthony Forker, who's going to be a big impact because, I think his size might dictate his ability to make a real impact on tonight's game. Right. But he might but he's going to be in the pass protection, and he's going to be in the pass breakup. Yeah. He's got a ton of breakups. I think he has 4 total overall, but he makes he doesn't have a ton of yards, but he's been on almost every. He's been on a ton of plays. He's got a pick. Doesn't have a ton of. He does have a couple tackles for a loss, but nothing real impressive, real huge.
More of a coverage type
guy.
guy.
Yeah, he's more of a coverage guy. And then the guy on the other side of that will be Forrest Jones, who, at only a freshman, they've put him on everybody. Everybody's best receiver. So he's really had to step up in his freshman year and make, something happen for himself. He's really established himself as being the guy that they really need to, anchor this defensive backfield. He's been a very, very, very good job so far. He's got those 2 picks that he had in the Monterey Tech game, but we did see that little bit of a freshman come out in him. But he's going to be very aggressive. He's going to play fast, play hard, and we'll see how he can handle these 2 guys.
He's going to have to do exactly what you're saying there. Yeah, I mean, he's there for a reason, and those guys tonight are going to have a real big night as that defensive secondary, because this is, as we said, the #1 quarterback in the nation coming in. So it's going to be a true test for that, not only defensive secondary, but the Javelina defense as a whole.
Absolutely.
And we keep hearing about the special teams for the Buffaloes. Give us the rundown about that.
Well, the guy you really have to look for is Nathan Slaughter. Okay, he's actually the 3rd receiver in that receiving core, but the thing about him is he already has 12 receptions for 124 yards. Only 1 touchdown, but that's not a bad number to have. He's got 10.3 yards per catch, which if you're a quarterback, that's a guy you're looking for every time because of the fact that he's getting to those sticks, he's stopping, he's catching the ball, and he's making a little bit of moves to get forward. But as you said, he's made his largest impact in the kicking game, and he's got 6 returns for 279 yards, which is just an absolutely astonishing run. That's 46.5 yards per return, and he's putting this offense with Dustin Vaughn and these 2 great receivers in Torrance Allen and Anthony Johnson. He's putting these guys in position to really, really be successful, and he's giving them the opportunity to make huge plays, and he's the kind of guy that every coach wants to have in that backfield.
Yeah, and he was actually the Week 3 Special Teams Player of the Week in the LSC, but their kicking game is real extreme. Their punter / kickoff return, or guy on the kickoff, Kevin Van Voorst. Kevin Van Voorst has a boot on him. He's punted 14 times this season for an average of 49 yards, 5 within the 20. So he really pins the opposing offenses deep in the end zone. Yeah, now the big story, Sergio Castillo. Sergio Castillo, a senior kicker for West Texas Buffaloes, is 4 points away from being the leading scorer in West Texas A&M history. He's 14 for 14 on his extra points this season and 6 for 6 on his field goals. So he's definitely a clutch guy when they get in the red zone. That's definitely going to put some points up.
Well, the other thing is you have to think about it. They have 144 points total. 40 points are his.
Yeah.
So.
And we're running out of time now. We're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be right back with the Pepsi pregame show.
Squarely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. Squarely's Liquor has the largest selection of craft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squarely's Liquor says don't drink and drive. Give them a call at 361-595-1818 or visit them in-store at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D in Kingsville, Texas. That's 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D next to Cowgirls Saloon. Thank you to Squarely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hi, and we're back with the Pepsi pregame show. We've seen a lot of different players impact this Javelina offense. Who should we watch out for tonight?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it starts with the quarterback position. You know, we don't know who's going to start or who's going to play the majority of the snaps tonight, but we assume, considering Dean Brantley has been hurt the last couple weeks and Alex Rios is still out, that it's going to be Aaron Bueno. Bueno is really going to have to take charge of this offense tonight. This will be his first start at the quarterback position, actually, at all for the Javelinas. He played a little bit of running back in the Monterey Tech game. We saw that. But, you know, he's only got 19 rushes for 99 yards, and he's only thrown 9 passes, and one of those was actually intercepted. But, you know, he's done a very good job of coming in and, you know, with really no momentum going for him at all. He played running back a couple series in that Monterey Tech game, as we said, but nothing really substantial. He's had a lot of limited carries and, you know, passes, but, you know, that one pick he did throw last week, he kind of got onto his back foot, had a little bit of bad footwork, and, you know, just kind of floated it up, and it was run under by the defense. But if we're gonna, I mean, if we really want to go into the quarterback competition that will be happening once these two guys come back in Brantley and Rios, we got to talk about, you know, their efficiency as passers, because that is the thing that we really have not had. We've had a lack of, actually, as an offense. And Dean Brantley, 16 for 24 with no picks and 2 touchdowns. Both those, I believe, were to Robert Armstrong. Actually, the other one might have been to Tesh.
Right.
But he's 66% passing. You know, that's a very, very good stat we saw with Dustin Vaughn. But Rios, on the other hand, is 39 for 62 with 3 picks. He had those 3 picks last week when his shoulder might have been a little tender, a little hurt from one of his rushes that he had. But he has thrown 3 touchdowns. And majority of those were in that game against Monterey Tech. So we may not see Brantley tonight, but it just depends on how well that running game is working for the Javelinas.
Yeah, and the running game is something that's been real solid for the Javelinas. I mean, last week they ran for 529 yards. 529 yards, so that was quite a bit of rushing yards. And what was unique about that is Anthony Washington, the running back that we've seen the first 2 weeks, was out. And so they brought in some new guys, different guys to run the ball. And it's mainly the offense is set up as a running type offense. They spread everything out and like to do a little read option. The quarterback either hands it off or a quarterback keeps it. And so that's why you see, as Ken was saying, Bueno and Rios and Brantley all having so many of these rushing yards mixed in with their passing yards. But yeah, Washington was injured last week, as we said. We are still unsure as if we will see him tonight or not. But regardless, Javelinas did just fine without him last week. There's Cornelius Shackelford was at a junior college just a year and a half ago, one of the top running backs in the nation as a yardage, and came here as a Javelina and played linebacker, because we had some real good running backs at the time. But just a real hard-nosed, powerful guy as a linebacker last year. Did a great job. Was hurt this started this season for the last 2 games, but came alive last game. So his first time as a running back for the Javelinas, came out, had 10 runs for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. And they're probably some of the hardest, toughest runs I've seen.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
this
guy,
guy,
4 guys to bring him down.
yeah, he is a monster, a beast. But we'll definitely see Cornelius Shackelford tonight. And then we can't forget Greg Petrie.
Yeah.
Greg Petrie's been consistent each game coming into the running game. Hasn't really started. It was Washington that started, and then he did get a start last week, but him and Shackelford, as well as some other running backs, split it. But he's come in and been consistent. He has 198 yards on 18 rushes for 2 touchdowns. So he's had a big impact, done a great job.
Can't forget
as
about
well.
that 98-yard,
Yeah,
that 89-yard, excuse me.
Yeah, he had a
rushing
big
yard.
breakaway. But Robert Armstrong, though, is one of the greater leaders of this team.
Absolutely.
He's a wide receiver. 18 catches just 2 weeks ago against Monterey Tech, but kind of got not necessarily shut down last week, but was quiet in the fact that the running game was so explosive and was definitely working.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And so he was real quiet last game, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that against West Texas. You're going to have to get the ball to your playmakers in Robert Armstrong. I mean, Robert Armstrong has 32 catches for 228 yards, 4 touchdowns, and that's not mentioning his 2 rushing touchdowns. So he's definitely a playmaker, and I would not be surprised if we got to get the ball to him tonight.
You got to get the ball to your playmakers. That's the way you win games. And the offense, I mean, that's what's going to win us the game tonight. It's going to be a shootout. So
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about the Javelinas running back and the running game a lot. What will this West Texas defense have to do to stop them?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing that they're going to have to do is as we said, shut down the running game. You know, the running game is going to be the big factor tonight with a guy like Bueno back there who is a prototypical quarterback for this offense. You know, he has the legs, he runs well. He also has a cannon for an arm. We haven't seen much of it, you know, those 9 passes and one of them just a little bit of a floater, as we said.
Yeah.
But, you know, but he has an absolute cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
We've seen it in
He was
practice
recruited as a pitcher here for Kingsville as well. So,
yes,
I mean,
he
a heck
was.
of an arm.
So, but the key is going to be to stop that run game, you know, shut down Shackelford, you know, have some penetration in the backfield. But we've seen their production on defense has not been that great on the defensive line. Their top 5 tacklers are all in the defensive backfield in the linebacking core or in the secondary. So, you know, Tyler McCullough is the leader on this team on the defensive side of the ball. He's a senior. He's played 3 years here. He's waited his turn basically to step into this role of being a senior leader. The guy leads the team with 30 tackles. He's very consistent in what he does. 30 tackles, 3.5 tackles for a loss, 1 sack and 1 pick. But, you know, it's going to be it's going to be him and this Brian Johnson, number 18, who we've said in the earlier segment that this dude's a beast, man. He's 6'4", 250. He's just an absolute load to carry. I mean, to go up against. 14 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. The 2.5 sacks leads the team. So, I mean, he's going to be a pass rusher, more of a DeMarcus Ware kind of guy. And, you know, look for McCullough to be more of a, I guess, Brian Urlacher type. He's going to stop the run, but he's also going to have the ability to get back in the passing game and make an impact there as well.
Right, it's those guys, their base defense is a 3-4 defense, so they run that 3-4 defense, and they like to drop Johnson, who's such a big guy, as we talked about, onto the line sometimes for a 4-3, as well as even another linebacker to make it a 5-3. So they vary their looks, but definitely run that 3-4. They've got 4 great linebackers, and they like getting them all out there and definitely using them to blitz, as stunts, and drop in the zone. But yeah, as Ken said, to stop the Javelina rushing game, they're going to have to be bringing those guys in the box. And I mean, you got some real great secondary and Curtis Slater. Curtis Slater, 25 tackles, and as a free safety has 2 sacks. That's
pretty good.
This defense,
pretty good week.
They played some. The 3 schools they have played have been more of a passing type school. So this will be the first test against a true running team in the Javelinas. But so they've only given up 108 yards per game on the ground, which is solid. But as we said, it wasn't against teams that were run dominated. But with their free safety, Curtis Slater, as well as another defensive back in Torian Oakley, who's got a tackle for loss, 2 guys like that getting in the backfield, we're gonna have to see more of that tonight, because our offensive line, the offensive line for the Javelinas, has done a great job opening holes up and really exploiting off the line to allow the running game for the Javelinas to be so successful. And I see them doing that tonight after we've seen the matchups and on tape and seeing this defensive line that the West Texas brings. So definitely look for the secondary to be running these little blitzes, running these little stunts to get in there and try to make some plays to shut down this Javelina rushing game.
And also don't forget about Torian Oakley's 2 picks he had in the first 2 weeks, which were huge, because that kind of puts a little bit of that thought in the back of your mind. If you're Aaron Bueno, then do I really want to throw to that side of the field? Because they got the guy over there who has that ability to take it back to the house.
Yeah,
so
he's been all the way around. All four of those guys, and then you can't forget LeBrandon Mosley. He's kind of a quiet guy, but one of their linebackers, mainly their outside linebacker. You'll see him dropping in a little bit, but he's came in and done a great job. 12 tackles, some tackles for loss, but he's more of just a guy that gets in there. You see him in on a lot of plays, a lot of assisted tackles.
Yeah,
so it'll be real interesting with that matchup.
Now, we talked about the Buffalo special teams and how they may affect the game, but how do you think Matt Stahl and the Javelina special teams will do?
Matt Stahl, he's a senior this year. You know, he's been around the program. The guy's got a heck of a leg on him, done great. Kind of misfortunate this season on the field goals. He had 1 block. He did miss 1 last week, so he's 1 for 3 on the field goal end, and he's missed an extra point as well. But with the special teams that we talked about with the Buffaloes, we're going to need Angel Mian to really do the same as their punter, Kevin Van Burris, and really pin the opposer, or I guess West Texas in some bad position. So it'll be real interesting to see the battle between.
We'll also need Stoll to do the same thing on those kickoffs.
Yeah,
as well.
He's going to have to boot it in there just as he is. But I think the special teams as well is definitely have to step it up to stay in this game as well.
Well, I mean, the whole thing we have to look at on that end is the fact that we don't have a consistent returner. So
and that's true.
That'll be a big thing for us.
Yeah, you got Washington, who we don't even know if is going to play yet, had the only kick return touchdown, the only real breakaway that they've had at special teams. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have time for. We're going to go to our second commercial break. We'll be back with the Pepsi pregame show.
Squarely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. Squarely's Liquor has the largest selection of craft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squarely's Liquor says don't drink and drive. Give them a call at 361-595-1818 or visit them in store at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D in Kingsville, Texas. That's 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D next to Cowgirl Saloon. Thank you to Squarely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
Game show. Now, guys, we've talked about the Javelinas, West Texas A&M. What else should we look for?
Well, I mean, you've seen an explosive offense on their side and a defense that can really shut you down. We've seen our offense, who's going to be mainly run heavy, so our defense has to really shut them down as well. So we'll see. So Denver, what are your keys to victory?
Well, the keys to victory for the Javelinas tonight, the defense, the secondary especially, is going to have to step it up. You got Forker and Forrest Jones, who we just talked about, a freshman and sophomore. They're going to play the biggest game of their lives against the #1 quarterback in the nation. Yeah. Also, they're going to have to capitalize. You got a West Texas A&M team that scores 48 points per game. So when the Javelinas do get the ball, they're going to have to capitalize. They're going to have to make big plays. And lastly, got to be able to not only establish that running back, but get the ball out to Armstrong, people that can make plays. Yeah. For West Texas, for the Buffaloes, they're going to have to attack the smaller and younger secondary of the Javelinas, of course. They're going to have to, the offensive line is going to have to form that pocket against this strong defensive line of the Javelinas to give Vaughn time to throw. And lastly, penalties have really affected West Texas. West Texas has had 53 penalties for 454 yards. That's 151 yards per game they've lost on penalties, so they have to limit those.
Yeah, definitely. So with all that being said, who's your pick?
Well, Ken, coming into Javelina Stadium, my old high school coach once told me it's defense that wins ball games and offense that sells tickets. Tonight, it's going to be the defense that pulls out a close one for the Javelinas tonight. Javelinas take this one 34-33. Let's go.
And there you have it with the Pepsi pregame show. I'm Ashlyn Tovar. This is Ken Tyler, and I'm here with Denver Diefenbach. Thanks for watching.
Ken Tyler, Denver Diefenbach. As we said earlier, just kind of a laugher, 69-7, the final score here tonight, as the West Texas A&M Buffaloes really put a thrashing on the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. So Denver, well, what can we really say?
Ken, we discussed before the game what the keys to victory were going to have to be for the Javelinas and for the West Texas, and it seemed it definitely went in the West Texas favor on the keys. The keys that we said for the Javelinas didn't really take into effect. We said the secondary was going to have to show up today. They kind of didn't do that. It was a good first quarter.
Yeah,
Javelinas had two great drives to start out the game. The first one, an unfortunate turnover on downs within their red zone. And then they held Vaughn and the Buffaloes, so it was 7-0 at that point. And then they held Vaughn and the Buffaloes, and then Bueno led another drive for them to score and tied up 7-7. And we just said the final score was 69-7, so I guess some simple math will tell us that was 62 unanswered points by West Texas to
no, by the Javelinas. Yeah, by the Javelinas.
Buffalo scored 62 points straight to make it 69-7. But the first quarter looked real strong, and it seemed to be with the heavy wind, it's kind of died down a little now. But with the wind we had today, it seemed like whoever had the wind really dominated. The Javelinas had it in the first quarter, and Vaughn, they slowly moved the football. Vaughn didn't have a passing touchdown the whole first quarter, and they literally only had one drive, and then they had that 3-and-out. Bueno was really moving the ball. That's when we saw a balanced passing and rushing attack that first quarter. And then ever since the second, third quarter, when West Texas had the win, the tides just changed.
Yeah, absolutely. 25 of 33, no picks.
Once again.
Just one touchdown. Dustin Vaughn did a very, very good job, and we saw it in that third quarter, especially the lasers he was putting downfield. And as you said, that wind was definitely aiding
big factor tonight.
Him in everything that he did. Aaron Bueno, on the other hand, 13 of 23, No picks tonight, very good on that end. He had 1 touchdown, but he was sacked 5 times.
Yeah,
so,
big.
I mean, that's big.
5 sacks.
We did talk about how their defensive line was going to play very fast, and their linebackers were going to play very fast, and we did see that a lot tonight. You know,
a lot of cornerback blitzes.
Yeah, lots of blitzing from the outside.
Slater already had 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
Had a
2 more
forced.
tonight. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
He had that recovery one for a touchdown, then another forced fumble. So that's exactly what we talked about.
Absolutely.
They really hit that hard.
Yeah, and then I mean on the other side of the ball, we talked about the power running of the Javelinas and how that was going to be one of their big keys to winning this game tonight, and beating this defense was going to be their ability to run the ball, and they spread it out pretty well between 3 running backs and 1 quarterback, but Cornelius Shackelford, who had a huge week last week, 14 rushes for 52 yards, which isn't bad. We
47
did see
yards, yeah.
47 yards.
47 net
oh
total
yeah,
yards.
47. But he did have. We did see those glimpses of his ability to run with power and with just kind of running like a fullback or like a linebacker.
He definitely ran, but like I said, only 47 yards, and a backup running back for West Texas who came in tonight, Jamison Stearns, almost had an equivalent amount of yards in just the 4th quarter alone. So, things that we haven't really seen from West Texas because they've been passing so much. We're able to come in and put up as much, or if not more, rushing yards. Yeah, more rushing yards than the Javelinas. So, I mean, just totally shut the Javelinas down in every aspect tonight, and kind of just had the way with them, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, so we've talked about this for a little bit, but when we get back from break, we'll get into a little bit more on either side of the ball for both teams, more on the defensive side because we did see some impressive defensive players tonight. So when we get back from break, we'll talk to you about that.
Squarely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. Squarely's Liquor has the largest selection of craft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squarely's Liquor says don't drink and drive. Give them a call at 361-595-1818 or visit them in store at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D in Kingsville, Texas. That's 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D next to Cowgirl Saloon. Thank you to Squarely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-25.
Welcome back to the Pepsi postgame show. Ken Tyler, Denver Diefenbach here from Javelina Stadium. Just kind of a sad night for the Javelinas. 69-7 was the final. Defensive side of the ball didn't really look that great. Had glimpses. We saw little bits and pieces of an ability to stop this high-powered passing offense. But, in the end of the day, just
didn't really go that way.
69 points down.
Yeah. But 419 yards total for West Texas tonight, and we look at that 419 yards. The quarterback Dustin Vaughn's been averaging more yards than that per game passing. So in a sense, he had the quietest night he's had all season. So that gets into the special teams and the defensive side of the ball. Which the wind really had a big factor on. But Vaughn and the offensive side of that had so many. They didn't have much yards to go. I mean, they at the beginning of the first quarter, when they were in the game, some long drives. After that, it was special teams that really hurt us, and not be able to move the ball and not give us our defensive really a chance to even stay off the field. They were constantly on there, and they didn't have far to go. And so that was a big factor.
Well, but you could really attribute that more to the wind.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Mian, who we've seen having a huge leg.
Right.
Matt Stoll has not a huge leg, but a big leg.
Enough. He has his fair share of touchbacks.
But the whole thing's going to be the wind aiding them
to really
their end of the offense.
On that.
But more of the special teams center. So whenever we get back, we will wrap this thing up for you. But tonight, as we said, 69-7 in the Buffalo's favor. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Squarely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. Squarely's Liquor has the largest selection of craft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squirrely's Liquor says don't drink and drive. Give them a call at 361-595-1818 or visit them in-store at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D in Kingsville, Texas. That's 1701 South Brahma Boulevard, Suite D next to Cowgirl Saloon. Thank you to Squirrely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
And welcome back here to Javelina Stadium. Ken Tyler, Denver Diefenbach at the Pepsi post-game show. You know, Denver, we talked about it, said it a couple times, 69-7. Just a rough weekend for the Javelinas. Next week they play another ranked opponent, which kind of seems to be adding insult to injury. But, you know, what do they have to do to get back into it next week against Midwestern?
First off, heal injuries, because injuries have
Absolutely.
been a big key factor. They've lost some real good guys. I mean, you know, we have our leading running back for the first 2 weeks, Anthony Washington, only got 2 carries tonight, still trying to recover. Dean Brantley, been a strong quarterback for us, out. Alex Rios, who's been a strong quarterback in the air and on the ground, out for us. I mean, in a sense, Aaron Bueno, not taking anything away from him, but he kind of came into the season as a third-string quarterback. Yeah. And so, I mean, definitely heal. Forget this. This is the biggest opponent they're probably going to play this year, possibly definitely in conference, some big games down the road. But, you know, these things happen, but you got to flush it, you know.
Absolutely.
You're 3-1. You still got a great record. They got a good team. And so going into this week, forget this game. It's done with, you know. Look at MSU, Midwestern State, who they have next week. Look at what they got to do, and go into that next week like you're undefeated. Take care of business.
Absolutely.
That's all you can do.
I mean, so far they've played pretty well for the first couple weekends.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why not?
This was a
why
true
not flush
test.
this one? Yeah, this
Yeah,
was the
you
real
gotta
test that
flush
we'll
it.
see. The first test that they'll see. But next week, MSU, next big test right in front of you, and down the road we will see potentially the #1 team in the nation.
It's
so
coming in here, yeah.
we will not be on the air next weekend. We will be on the following week when they come back home to play Texas A&M Commerce, who. Another team in the conference who's not bad.
LSU football has been pretty strong.
Yes, they have.
I think Javelinas will get it together and be competitors and fight. So.
Absolutely. You know, that's the only thing they can do here.
Yeah.
So we will see you again next time. Ken Tyler, Denver Diefenbach for the JBN. And thank you for watching. Good night.